Mr. Ronnie Jones, Chairman, State Gaming Control Board. Hey, Mr. Ronnie, welcome back to Keel. How you doing?
Morning, folks. How are y'all? I'm well.
Well, here's the deal. Erin had some numbers, and she's not 100% sure what they mean or where they're from, but it looks like, what was it, 15, 20, 30%?
Revenue's down in Shreveport-Bossier more than 10%, it looks like.
Is that like this month, this weekend?
Yeah, it's same month compared to last year month. And, it's a trend. I try not to focus on monthly figures. I tend to look more at 6 months or a year for trends, but I have to tell you, I'm concerned. I'm concerned not only for the Shreveport and Bossier market, but I'm concerned for the Baton Rouge market. Things in gaming, we were flat for a while, and now we're starting to lose revenue. I think that's bad for the state.
You and I have talked about this a million times, but we'll start here. Obviously, it's competition from Oklahoma, from Arkansas, from Mississippi, et cetera, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I got on Google Maps last week. I was just curious because I've never driven it before. So I started in the center of downtown Dallas and mapped it to the first exit in Oklahoma. And in traffic, it was an hour and a half. So within an hour and a half, if you're in downtown Dallas, you can drive and be on the largest gaming floor in the world with more slot machines than anybody else has. So why would somebody, what do the casinos in Shreveport, Bossier do to draw that traffic? What do they have? What amenities can they put out for their customers to bring and drive that customer base back to Shreveport and Bossier?
I know limited gaming. I know limited gaming stations. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's complex. And, the fact is, I don't set policy for the state. That's a legislative matter. And I'm sure you guys followed the hearings this past legislative session. There just does not seem to be any incentive on the legislative side to make any policy changes with respect to gaming. Now that's despite the fact that gaming revenue has outpaced oil and gas revenue in the state of Louisiana as a source of income for the state.
Wait a minute. Say that again. People don't. You said that too fast.
I'll slow down. I'm sorry. The revenue from gaming now exceeds the revenue from oil and gas in this oil and gas heavy industrialized state.
So maybe we should do something. Maybe we should do something to protect the gaming revenues rather than just watch them flitter away.
That the legislature has not been inclined to do that, and quite frankly, they set the policy. I was a little bit surprised when I heard some of the testimony this past session from some legislators in North Louisiana, whose constituents obviously work in the gaming industry, and they really didn't even want to have a discussion about any changes to gaming policy. So I mean that's their prerogative. I mean, they're elected officials; they set policy. I don't, but I can tell you that unless some changes are made to make Louisiana more competitive, things are not going to improve.
Ronnie,
they're only going to get worse.
Ronnie, I know in my business, in probably many people's businesses, if your revenues are down 11.6% each month or 10% each month or whatever that double-digit number is, jobs go away. We don't hear much from the casinos, but have we lost jobs as a result?
Yes. And in fact, it's such a controlled industry, unlike a number of other industries. I mean, it's the most tightly controlled industry in the state. They have to come before the board if they want to reduce gaming positions, gaming employees. They have to get permission and authority from the board to do that, and they have to make a case. I can tell you that at least 5 properties have pending applications before the board to make reductions in staff. Those are jobs. I mean, those are checks going home to buy groceries and school supplies and put gas in the car. Those are jobs. Those are real jobs.
Of those 5, are some of them from our market?
Yes.
So we're talking about job losses that are pending before your board.
Yes.
You can't name them, right? Yet, not yet.
That's correct.
Okay.
You know me too well.
Yeah.
Let's reiterate this point, and it's I'll phrase it the way I phrased it to you a couple of times and to Erin a bunch of times. That when it comes to being competitive, in the gaming, in the gambling industry. We have in Louisiana legislated ourselves into such a corner that there's really, unless we make radical changes, there's no way out.
We haven't seen the bottom yet. I spoke with a national reporter from the Wall Street Journal last week, and she was asking, well, what is it that's going on in Louisiana? Y'all have one of the third or fourth largest commercial markets in the country, and yet you don't have sports betting. And I had to explain to her that the legislature that we had in 1991 and 92 was much less conservative than the legislature we have today. And the legislature we have today is just not inclined. Nobody in the legislature wants to get a failing grade from the people who rate them and say, well, that's a legislator who supports gambling in the state. So they're not a good legislator. I just think I think it's a little short-sighted.
Mr. Ronnie, speaking of sports gambling, what kind of effect is that going to have on the states that have okayed that, like Mississippi, like I guess Arkansas to some degree, and we kind of legislatively just kind of sloughed over it?
I can't say I was totally surprised that it failed, but I was surprised in the manner that sports betting failed. The legislature did not see fit to authorize that, despite the fact that many states around us have done so. It wasn't going to grow the state revenue in a big way, but what it would have done is brought customers to the properties where they, get rooms and buy meals and enjoy the other amenities. And I've got to tell you, Mississippi parking lots and casinos are filled with Louisiana cars.
Okay, Ronnie, is the answer free for all? Let them do what they want. Let them build these big mega casinos. Let's embrace it. I mean, if we're going to have them, embrace it. Let them go for it.
I can't say what the answer is. Our Riverboat Gaming Task Force came up with some recommendations that are still on the table. For example, taxing of complimentary rooms and that sort of thing that Mississippi doesn't do, and that puts Louisiana casinos at a disadvantage. The gaming positions, we were able to expand that, but some of these properties are not going to reinvest and put more capital into a property unless they can get a return on that investment. So it's a complex business model, but the casino industry's hands are tied to some degree.